matter really relates to what is before us as a nation. This matter relating to LGBTQ plus. And I think that we should confront this matter as a parliament. I've been trying to call the minority leader, and I thought that the two of us could come together on this because it's about parliament. Unfortunately, because this decision was taken quite late yesterday, when I called, I couldn't get through to him. So that's where we are. But it's not majority versus minority in parliament. This is a matter for parliament. Now, let me, at the very outset, indicate that members of parliament are representatives of the people, and the citizens of this country should rest assured that parliament would not turn our backs on them. We represent their interests in parliament, and so we will do what is needful. Indeed, the very first provision of Chapter 11 of the Constitution, which is on the judiciary, provides, and for the avoidance of doubt, let me read. And that is Article 125 of the Constitution. It provides, justice emanates from the people and shall be administered in the name of the Republic by the judiciary, who shall be independent and subject only to this Constitution. I think the operative clause is justice emanates from the people. Why is the Constitution stating this point so pointedly? It is because, as Ghanaians, we have our own upbringing and we have our own set of values. Wherever we come from Asante, from Bruno, from Volta region, from Uti, from Dagomba land, wherever, we have our set of values. Sure. And it's the values that guide us in life. And it's the reason why the Constitution provides that justice emanates from the people. Of course, in our own upbringing, I'm a Christian. I belong to the Assemblies of God. I cannot say that my upbringing has also not been impacted by my Christian values. Equally so for the Honorable Habib, who is there by me. He's a Muslim, and his upbringing is also impacted by his religion. But we have our own set of values. And I really don't know of any ethnic group in Ghana, who would applaud the issues about LGBTQ plus whatever. So we have listened to the concerns expressed, and as I said, Parliament will do the needful. My plea is that those of them who are making contributions and calling to radio stations and so on, even speaking on television, we should cut off emotions and sentiments. Because once we do that, it clouds the rationality of the issues. So let's cut out emotions and sentiments. You see, one of the reasons why some jurisdictions have lower and upper houses of parliament, as bicameral parliaments, is that when issues arise and they are debated and decisions are taken in the lower house, before it goes to the upper house, they allow for some cooling off periods to calm down nerves and so on before the second chamber, considers those matters. In Parliament, we have a unicameral Parliament. In Ghana, we have a unicameral Parliament. And that means that we combine the functions of the two houses, that is, in jurisdictions where you have lower and upper chambers. And the reason why, as I've said, we need to have a very serene atmosphere to discuss this. Where we are now, the bill has come to Parliament, is passed through the first reading, and has been referred to the Committee of Parliament. The Committee of Parliament is going to dissect it, and that committee is the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, the appropriate committee that some members. The citizens of this country have the right to exercise popular participation by discussing the issues as we have been doing. And as much more importantly, I would entreat that the organized groups, including churches, mosques, civil society organizations, NGOs, should submit memoranda to the committee. And it's important that they have this because, see, as per Article 106(4) of the Constitution, wherever a bill is read the first time in Parliament, it shall be referred to the appropriate committee appointed under Article 103 appointed under Article 103 of this Constitution, we shall examine the bill in detail and make all such inquiries in relation to it as the committee considers expedient or necessary. So that is the task of the committee now, and which is why I'm urging the people who are commenting on the matter, civil society organizations, NGOs, organized groups, including churches and mosques, to submit memoranda to the committee. Article 106(6) provides the report of the committee, together with the explanatory memorandum to the bill, shall form the basis for a full debate of the bill, for its passage with or without amendments, or its rejection by Parliament. So it is the basis of the debate that we're going to have in Parliament is the memorandum to the bill and the hearings that the committee will submit itself to, which will form the basis of the report that they themselves would send to Parliament. And that report could be heavily influenced by a memoranda that will be going to them. And that's why I'm urging that the citizens should submit memos to the committee. Now, we hear some people being very punchy and saying to us that Parliament should have this debate telecast. It means those people, they are oblivious of how we conduct affairs in Parliament. Which bill is, considered in camera? Every bill is discussed in the open.
Yes.
So for people to say that, no, don't go and hide and do this in camera, I'm surprised. It means they themselves don't even follow parliamentary proceedings, right? So, as I'm saying, there's no hiding of anything. It will be done in the open, as we have, submitted every bill to. The major voting on any bill, is at the second reading, right? At the second reading, it is the principle of the bill that we vote on, right? After it's gone through the second reading, the sponsor will bring the rationale for introducing the bill to us. And the committee would, based on their own findings and their understanding of the principles encapsulated in the memorandum, and what the general public would have also contributed, they will submit a report. And usually it's about the constitutionality or otherwise of the bill and the purpose, whether there is a clear mischief that the bill sets out to kill, and however it sits within the context of the Constitution, or perhaps any existing law. So that is what the committee is going to submit to us. As you do know, whenever we come to consider bills, that is at the consideration stage, when we have agreed to the principle and we enter the consideration stage, you know that I have this small band of people who were really assisting, so that when we came to the consideration stage in plenary, the consideration would be very smooth. The small committee that we call the Winnowing Committee included established members and experienced members of parliament like the Honorable Ben Abdallah, the Honorable Yile Chere, the Honorable Fuseni Nusa, the Honorable Shaibu Mama. Unfortunately, we have lost all these people who, in my view, were established legislators, and they helped in no small way to smith bills that came to Parliament. It's the reason why the 7th Parliament was able to pass so many bills. Because as we do know, whenever we did the second reading and amendments were proposed, it is that small committee that I fell on to do the reconciliation of otherwise opposing amendments that might have come from members of Parliament. Unfortunately, as I've said, we've lost that a chunk of that group. Fortunately, we still have a couple of them. And the chairman of the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee, the Honorable Anyimedu, was one of the group, one of the members of that group who were assisting. The Honorable Bernard Ahiafo is also still with us. Roxanne Dafiamapo was a member, maybe an associate member. But he was, whenever he found time, he'd be with us. We have him. Indeed, I've been encouraging in recent times the Honorable Apia Kubi and Patrick Boama to join. And I think there's that enthusiasm. Also, Honorable Atachia, there's that enthusiasm on their part to join. So when the committee has finished, I will also put them together for us to do the bolts and nuts adjustment. And then it will come to the plenary for us to really deal with the substance of the matters. I am not oblivious of the fact that some people have raised issues about the bill vis-a-vis Article 108, 108A, especially Roman numbers 2 and 3, which provides that Parliament shall not, unless the bill is introduced or the motion is introduced by or on behalf of the President, proceed upon a bill including an amendment to a bill that, in the opinion of the person presiding, makes provision for any of the following. And 2 is important: the imposition of a charge on the consolidated fund or any other public funds of Ghana, or the alteration of any such charge, otherwise done by reduction. And then 3 also says, you shall not proceed on a bill including an amendment to a bill that, in the opinion of the person presiding, makes provision for any of the following: the payment, issue or withdrawal from the consolidated fund or any public funds of Ghana of any monies not charged on the consolidated fund or any increase in the amount of that payment, issue or withdrawal. I'm not oblivious of this. And I guess when we come to the bridge, we shall cross it. See, when we came to consider the Children's Act, those of you who are old enough, and I'll not mention the names of the younger generation. I think that was in 1990, was it 98, 99, the Children's Act. It was started by CSO, civil society organizations, who felt that we should handle this. Along the line, this matter was raised. Government then came in, assumed control, and partnered the original sponsors, and then crafted it in a way that ended in Parliament. The issues contained are, that is in this bill before us, are matters that all of us, and I'm not sure that any member of Parliament could be against the principle of this bill. No member would be against this. I think it's the smithing of it. How do we attain the results that we all want? So I guess, as I said, when we come to the bridge, we certainly will be able to cross it. Where there is a will, there is always a way. So whatever happens, we should be able to deal with it. I'm really impressed with the popular participation thus far exhibited by the people of this country. I will only plead that the excitement generated, we should not, after the passage of this bill, the citizens shouldn't go to sleep, because there are many other bills that are outstanding that we have not been able to deal with, including in particular the imperatives of Article 22. And let me quote that. The 22 is on the property rights of spouses. It provides a spouse shall not be deprived, that's 22:1, shall not be deprived of a reasonable provision out of the estate of a spouse, whether or not the spouse died having made a will. And 2 provides, Parliament shall, as soon as practicable after the coming into force of this Constitution. The Constitution came into force in 1982, right? Enact legislation regulating the property rights of spouses. We know the vicissitudes of spouses who are left behind by the transition of their other halves. 22(3) provides, with a view to achieving the full realization of the rights referred to in clause 2 of this article, spouses shall have equal access to property jointly acquired during marriage. The entire nation is silent on this. And then 3b says, with a view to achieving the full realization of the rights referred to in clause 2 of this article, assets which are jointly acquired during marriage shall be distributed equitably between the spouses upon the dissolution of marriage. We haven't come to a final determination on this, and I'm pleading with compatriots. Fortunately, I know the current administration is working, that is the cabinet is working to revive the efforts begun earlier on this. Let us all brainstorm on this as well. That's why I'm appealing to our citizens not to go to sleep after this matter relating to LGBTQ++, and I'm adding another plus. So there are matters that concern our spouses, our wives that we leave behind, our husbands that we leave behind, and we leave them to rot, more or less. As a nation, we should come to some determination on this. But today, I think we are dealing with LGBTQ+, and I don't want to dilute the issue by adding other ingredients. So thank you very much for listening to us. As I'm saying, it's a matter for Parliament, it's a matter for the representatives of the citizens of this country. And rest assured, Parliament will not disappoint.